All right, so we have practiced how to draw our running dog, and now it's time for us to paint our background. Don't worry if you don't have paint, you can do the same concept just with construction paper, but maybe using two different colors. All right, I have a question. Have you ever heard of contrasting colors? I'll say it again, contrasting colors. I'll give you a second. What do you think contrasting colors are? Contrast. That means they stand apart from each other. It kind of also means that they complement each other. All right, this is my big color wheel, and it's here today to help us learn about contrasting colors. All right, let's pick one. Orange. What is orange's contrasting color? If I look at the color that's opposite of it, that is blue. So the contrasting color of orange is blue. Look, they're opposite of one another. They almost make a bow tie shape. It kind of looks like a bow tie you might wear. All right, let's look at yellow. What is opposite of yellow on the color wheel? Not orange, because orange is next to it. What's opposite? Purple. So the contrasting color of yellow is purple. Look, it makes a bow tie shape. What about red? What's opposite of red? Go down, that's green. Red and green are contrasting. And today, we are going to use contrasting colors to make our colorful background for our painted running dog. So, I'm not completely done with my example, but I've almost finished it. And you can see that I've used what two colors? Contrasting colors. Yep, orange and blue, because remember, they are opposite on the color wheel. And then I've started to paint my dog on top. All I have to do now is add the eyes and his collar and his nose and tongue. But I like it so far. Notice, did you see these lines and texture in the background? So not only are we going to paint our paper, but we are also going to create texture using a fork. And this will be our background for our dog painting. All right, let's talk about what things do we need for today's project. First, you want to grab some white paper. If you don't have big white paper, this is 18 by 24, that's okay, but grab some white paper. You need a pencil, a fork. If you have a plastic fork, that's best. You need some thick brushes. The bigger the brush, the better. And you might want to grab a paint rag or some paper towels. Find a tin cup or a plastic cup, fill it up with water. And I have my paints already poured into cups, but you can pour your paints onto a tray or something that you have that you wouldn't mind getting paint on it. All right, here's my other one. Remember, purple and yellow are also contrasting colors, so you can use that as well. All right, we are going to do blue and orange. And I kind of mixed some white into my blue to make it a little bit lighter. So if I have my blue right here, this is dark. If I want it to be a little bit lighter, I can put some white inside of that, mix it all around, and it will be more like a baby blue. But mine's already set to go. All right, so we want there to be a wall and a floor. So that I know where to change my colors, I'm going to draw a horizontal line from left to right of my paper. I don't want it halfway. I don't want it near the top. I want it about a third up. So about the height of my fingers, right? So to the best of my ability, I'm trying not to make it slope down. I want it to go right across. It does not have to be perfect, just one little line. All right, now let's start painting the wall. Take the lid off, get my paintbrush, little goes a long way, and start making horizontal strokes. My goal is to make everything above this line blue. And you don't want to do it too slow because you want the paint to be able to be a little bit wet so that we can add texture in a moment using our fork. All right, look, I have some newspaper underneath me, underneath my paper so that I can paint right off the edges. It's totally fine to paint off the edges unless you, so that you have newspaper underneath you. You want to make sure you have newspaper. All right. Look, I'm getting close to my line. I'm going to grab a little bit more paint and just pull it, slide it across. This is a good painting technique. You're almost pulling it across. All right. Have I gotten everywhere? I have. All right, set my brush off to the side. Now we want to make some texture. Right now the paint is on top of the paper. We're going to scrape it. So I'm going to show you guys some different techniques. This is kind of like plaid, so we're going to do that. Bringing my fork at the top down, I'm going to start making lines. And I love it because it immediately makes some cool lines. All right, let's go vertical. Now let's go horizontal. Starting to make some squares, teeny tiny squares inside. You can even use the end of your fork and make thicker lines. Let's make thicker lines. Every so often, making sure that they're pretty even. Maybe horizontally. And I like it because this kind of looks like wallpaper behind, that's going to go behind my dog. So he's maybe running inside a house. All right, my background is done, or the wall part of my background is done. I might want to lift it up so it doesn't stick to the newspaper, and let's grab a different color. All right, if you don't have two big brushes, you'll want to clean your brush. So what you can do is take your paintbrush and scrape as much paint as you can inside the cup. Look how I'm just scraping it on the side. And then I can dip it in my water can. Ballerina twirl, meaning circular motions. Ballerina twirl. Big brushes like to hold a lot of paint, so if you have two brushes, that might be easier. But if you don't, it doesn't take too much time to clean your brush. All right, here I have my rag or my paper towel. I want to wipe it clean, always in one direction. I never scrub my brush. That makes it look like spider. I want it to be all together in a happy family. Wipe my brush. All right, there's a lot more blue. Let's get it down. And I'm kind of wiping it clean. All right, pretty good. All right, let's paint with our contrasting color. What is that for blue? That is orange. Let's open it up. Dip and paint in big horizontal strokes. Paint across. All right, I'm getting close to where the blue is starting. I don't want to overlap because contrasting colors, when they're mixed, they make kind of a yucky brown. So what I'm doing is I'm sneaking it up. I'm not overlapping on the blue. I'm just sliding that paint across. Doing my best, trying not to mix it with the blue. Wipe it across. All right, this looks pretty cool, but let's add some other texture. All right, on this one, I did little tick marks. That's like this. Just bringing my brush, kind of picking it up like that. On this background, I kind of went crazy, and I just brought my brush, or my, I can't think of the word, my fork all over. So let's do that. I'm just going crazy, making swirls, up and down, zigzag, like that. If that's too much for you, you could always bring your fork just straight across, kind of like floorboards. It's really your choice. So you can have a lot of fun with it and create some really cool texture. Go off the page, and there we have it. All right, you guys, so we have finished our background for our painting. Is this paint wet right now? It is. So what do you think we're going to have to do first? We are going to have to wait for it to dry. So what I'm going to do is set this in a safe place where no one will touch it. Tell someone, if they're living in your house, say, hey, don't touch my painting, it's drying. I would give it at least 1 to 2 hours before we draw and paint our dog on top. All right, good luck, guys.